Hello there everyone, welcome back. I have a scrapbook layout for you today. You can see I've got the Season of Elegance paper on my desk, and I have these two photos of my beautiful niece, and she was so excited to be wearing this beautiful dress for her Christmas dance, her school dance. And when I saw this paper, I immediately was reminded of these photos because of her dress. So it just, the top of the dress, this gold lace overlay, and the skirt, it just is so perfect for this particular paper. So I already used some of this. Now there's a couple different gold foiled patterns. There's this one, you can see it's a little bit different look, but I really like this one. So I think we could just take this half, and I'm wanting to combine it with some papers from the Season of Green and Gold. I love all of these sprigs. It lends itself well to Christmas. And again, there's the gold foiling, so it's going to tie in beautifully with this particular paper collection. So let me grab my Versamat here. This is going to be a single page layout because I just have the two photos, and these are removable glue dots. I love to use these to hold my papers in place on my mat. And I've already got one in that corner. If you're careful, you can peel off the previous project and sometimes get a couple uses from those glue dots. And we'll make sure that's lined up. So I have the one piece of paper here, and that is 6 by 12. And then what I'm thinking, I could, with my photos, when I have two photos like this, they're slightly smaller. They are 5 1/4 by 4. I did not print, well, maybe I did print these. They've been laying around my craft room for quite a while. But when I have two photos like this, sometimes I'll offset them like this. That's a go-to design for me. Since they're not quite 6 inches, you could put them in a column like that. And this would work well if you have a big story to tell, because you could put the title here and have lots of room for journaling. I don't have a big story to tell. I'm just mainly going to record the who, what, when, where, and why. So I think I'm going to do a center focus. So offsetting them, or you could even do something like this. Now I'm going to move this photo over here because she's looking into the layout. So I'd like this on the edge where she's facing this way. Now I want to bring in more color to this layout. So when you look at the photos, they're very neutral. We don't have, her dress are neutral colors, the gold and the cream, and then it's very neutral in the background. My sister took these photos and shared them with me, and I was teasing her. I'm like, what is up with the fall wreath in the background with the Christmas dress? So she was in the process of transitioning from fall to Christmas because these were taken at the end of November. So she just didn't even notice that that was there. We don't want to draw attention to that. We want my niece Madeline to be the focus. So because these are neutral, we can really bring in any color, but I want to use these beautiful greens. So there's a lot of sprigs in the green and gold. So you have papers here with sprigs and little bells that you can die cut out, and there was vellum. So you can see how that has like a transparency to it. I have already die cut a whole bunch of these because I was using them for Christmas cards and my December daily projects, just all sorts of, uses for these. So it's so nice to have a bunch of sprigs ready to go. And then I pulled in some embellishments that I had left over from other projects that I thought might work well. So I've got a couple green and gold trees from the Decorative Trees. There's some gold sprigs. I had this off-white vanilla colored poinsettia here, and then some holly leaves. So just random bits and pieces that I thought would go with this particular layout. So since I want to use the sprigs, I wouldn't want to use this as a background paper, right? Because then my sprigs wouldn't show up. So I want something where these are going to stand out against the background. So, maybe something like here, if you look at the other side of these are a lot of the sprigs that I die cut out. But we have this nice green on the other side, but I don't really like that. That doesn't really do anything for the photos here. We've got this plaid, but that's a little bit more casual, and I want this to be more of an elegant paper. So let's try some of these gold foiled papers and see what those look like. So on that one side you have Greenery, And again, I just don't think that that would be good. And again, if you put these sprigs on here, they're really not going to show up very well with that background. So we have the kind of little starburst on this side. That's kind of pretty. And then we can bring in the green, maybe mat the photos on green and then bring in the green with the greenery. So this is a contender. I do like that. We also have this one. That's on the opposite side. Let's see what this looks like. You know what? I like this better. Let's go with this. Let's just run with this for a bit and see what happens here. Like I said, I want to bring in some green to map my photos. And there's different green tones in this paper collection. Nope, let's get some cardstock. I think to begin with, I want to mat these on vanilla because I usually print my photos with a white border. That's why I think maybe I did not print these. And that just makes them stand out already against the background. And this is Old Olive. I'm thinking Mossy Meadow might be a better tone for what I'm going for. It's a deeper green. And what if we double matte these like that? You know what? I think that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and cut this down. This darker matte will really help them stand out against the lighter background. So we needed some depth, right? We just have a lot of light tones, and this instantly draws your eye to the center and helps the photos stand out against the background. I want something separating these two patterns here. I don't like how they are just running into each other, so we could possibly use... Okay, my sprigs do have a direction on this paper. You can see they're running, that way, but I think it's okay to turn them on their side. What if we just put a tiny little bit of this paper here to finish off that transition, add a little separation between the two gold foiled patterns. I do like that, but I feel like we need it somewhere else. So what if I cut this in half and put it over here too? Let's go for it. I think these pieces are wider than I need. We'll probably only have about maybe ½ an inch showing, just enough to make a statement here. I think that looks really good. I'm happy with that. And let's actually bump this in just a bit to match the other side, because why not? I will take just a moment to pause the camera and adhere all of my base layers down here so those aren't moving around. And now we can start the fun embellishing process. So I have all of these sprigs and I'm envisioning this great big, let me actually tack this down. I might put a few more layers under there, so I don't want to fully adhere it down yet. But let's place these in the upper corner here. I'm envisioning them kind of just coming out all around this upper corner and then down here offset on a diagonal. It really does make the process easier when you already have these little bits die cut or your images stamped and die cut, so you can just try different things. Like I've got this tree. Again, this is from the Decorative Trees. It was left over from another project and I think it's just so pretty. Let's see here. We need something kind of anchoring it over the top, but this might look good up in the upper corner as well. I have all of these tags. These were part of the mix and match ephemera, and I pulled out the tags that have gold foiling on them, and I thought maybe we could use these for my journaling. I think this one might be an appropriate size. As I mentioned, I don't have a whole lot to say, but I do want to record the details, including, how old she was, what year of high school it was, and of course, what the dance. So when I'm placing my sprigs, I like them to be originating from a common point. And in this case, it would be the hole in the tag. So I'm making sure to point each of the ends of the sprigs towards that direction. Now, what if we layer these up in this upper corner here? I'm not sure I like the long one. Let's try this one. And we also have these gold foiled bells that were die cut from the pattern paper. There's a pair and a single. These might look really pretty layered over this little tag here. And that does look good. We could even maybe sneak this poinsettia in. This poinsettia is from a Spellbinders die set. But yeah, I like that. Now the tags are they're white and the papers are off-white, but I think it's okay to mix your whites. And Madeline's skirt is more of a bright white and the top of her dress is more of an off-white with that gold. So it works for me. Now, I was so excited when I bought these, and then I kind of forgot about them. It's a collection of sentiments, and these were Christmas themed. And I thought a lot of these were large enough they would be great for titles. So it says Christmas Joy. And I also want to add some gold twine. And this, actually, let me just take that off there. No sense in keeping it on the spool. There's not much left. So I'm going to tie a little bow, and let me even up my tails. And then I like to use a glue dot and adhere these to the tops of my tags to finish that off. Whoops, my title's a little bit crooked. Let me straighten that out. I thought Christmas Joy was a good choice because I can vividly remember that feeling of joy when it was time to go shopping for a new Christmas dress and just have the opportunity to get all fancied up. It was just so fun. I'm trying out some of these other die cuts. We have more trees, and then I have a little tag here that I thought maybe we could have peeking out the top. I kind of just want something in this area, but that's not quite right. I tied one more bow for the top of this tag here, and then I thought maybe the keeping tabs punch would work. We could punch this gold foil paper here and try this up top in that open area. And then I'll probably stamp a little sentiment. I've got a stamp set in mind that will fit perfectly. Here comes Dave. He's lurking on the outskirts there. But the stamp set I am thinking about is great for adding just little sentiments. It's called Love This Moment. Oh, David, give me back that tree. Naughty kitty. Dave is apparently feeling a little bit feisty this morning. And nope, not the twine. That's dangerous. Give me that back. He swiped my little bow there. I paused the camera and decided to type up my journaling, thinking Dave would get bored with what I was doing. So I printed this up on Avery clear sticker paper. I used a text box and sized it to fit my tag. And I know it's overhanging, but I wanted it to go edge to edge. So this way we can just flip it over and cut off the excess. You could have folded it over too, and that would have worked well. My journaling just talks about how pretty she looks in her new dress and the date. Of course, these were taken in winter of 2018. Let's place our bow back on the top there. And then I have some gold sequins. These are from my stash. These are close to my heart, but they are the exact same color gold. So I thought 3 of these would look really pretty in the center of the poinsettia to finish that off. And then I'll add a few of them around the embellishment clusters as well. My tree's a little bit crooked. Let me straighten that. And I still need to finish off that gold foil tag. So let's stamp a sentiment on some vanilla cardstock. And I think I want to use, there's lots of good choices here, but there's this one here says, I love this. And that kind of works because chances are if you're scrapbooking a photo, it's because you love it, right? So I love this is a safe sentiment, and I am stamping it onto vanilla cardstock so we can just trim it out and place it over the top of the gold foil tag. I cannot cut a straight line to save my life, so I use my little guillotine trimmer to trim that down, and then I'll just even up the ends there so it'll fit on our little tab. Tabs and tags and things like that are great little fillers that can work on a lot of different layouts. But you know what? I don't think I like that. It just looks kind of funny. Maybe if we stamped right on the gold foil, it would look better. Let's try it. Anytime you're using a slippery surface like vellum or foil or acetate, you need to use a product like Stays On ink. And this will not smear. The others will sit on top of those shiny surfaces and smear. So you do need a special ink for this, but I know you can't really see that because of the reflection, but I think that that looks pretty good. Let me hold it up for you. See how it says, I love this? And then we can tuck it in. The white was just too much. This blends in nicely and works with the design. So let me hold this up so you can see all of those fun bits and pieces layered together in our embellishment cluster. We have lots of gold, making this the elegant layout that I was hoping for. Everything I use that is still available is listed in the description box below. And if you're looking for more scrapbooking inspiration, definitely watch this video right here. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you soon here on YouTube.